So if you guys have noticed, I sometimes move what you guys say.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed because I haven't watched them.
I know, you haven't even watched the most recent episode, Sam. I noticed. I've been watching the YouTube channel.
You're subscribed.
I am the only subscriber.
So part of me wants to grab my tub of popcorn over in the corner of the room now, and then just eat it into the
Oh
microphone.
no.
And it's
Oh
not just
no.
any popcorn; it's kettle corn crunch.
Uh,
Ace.
Make it as loud as possible.
yeah. I do enjoy kettle corn. It's my favorite thing to do at the fair. Oh man, I miss the Kern County Fair because the LA Fair, like, it's happening right now and it is so expensive. I know if you bought like a little bit ahead of time, you would have gotten it significantly cheaper, but it's too much.
I feel
I'm
like
not going
half
to
the
the LA
magic
Fair.
is buying the ticket at the gate, though.
How on earth is that part of the magic for the fair?
Well, at least to me,
It's-
the fair is like a very like sketchy and shitty affair. So I feel like a key part of it is just buying it at the gate.
I don't get that at all. I think seeing the people selling balloons outside the gate is part of the experience, but like having to walk up to the gate isn't part of it.
To each their own.
Yeah. I don't know. The Kern County Fair is definitely a very sketchy fair, but I always enjoy it.
Yeah. The Monterey County Fair was not as sketchy, but still pretty sketchy.
At this point, I only go to the fair for food.
I've been to
what
the
do-
Kern County Fair since like middle school.
Yeah. You didn't go like in high school? I was what in high school.
No. I feel like I was busy with band practice.
Fair enough.
I only went when there were other people going.
Fair enough. I'd always go with Jack and Wyatt.
I forgot to mention my dog's in the room. That's
I
fine.
haven't heard him yet, so it hasn't been a problem. Please don't jinx it.
Dog's like, "Oh, you're talking to me?"
Hold up, since when did
No,
you have a
he's
dog?
sleeping.
Didn't you have only cats?
I have a cat and a dog. But since I'm alone this weekend, I'm just hanging around with the dog.
Fun times.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam, what is your preferred food at the fair?
Yes.
See, I always enjoy the kettle corn. I always enjoy the funnel cake. And then in Kern County, I believe it's Troop 188 has a stand where they sell baked potatoes.
I believe that's true as well.
Yeah, it's the stand with the big Boy Scout hat on top.
I remember that one.
I remember seeing their logo on a building.
It's always fun to walk around the warehouses of just people selling crap mostly. The saltwater taffy was always nice. 'Cause that guy was always consistent every year. I'm gonna look it up. When is the Kern County Fair?
Remember, it's always in like mid-September, early mid-September. I remember they
Yeah.
always advertise it at like the beginning of the school year-ish for elementary school. And they'd have like I think a coupon or something like that they would give us.
September 18 to 29. There's a countdown clock on the website. 17 more days. Sponsored by Budweiser.
Drink responsibly.
My mom likes funnel cakes too, but I haven't really liked them that much.
I can't eat a full funnel cake. It's not from lack of trying, but it is so much cake and powdered sugar and whipped cream and strawberries and like I put like a bunch of fruit on mine, and I can never do it. It's just impossible.
That reminds me, recently in my work, we actually got a thing that you can make funnel cake with.
I would not buy one of those because I know I wouldn't have any self-control. Like if I had that, I would make funnel cake.
I think it comes with like the mixed stuff and then like the container to actually make it be a funnel cake.
Yeah, I have no idea like how you make it into a funnel shape.
I've always just seen funnel cake flat. I think I've only ever like had funnel cake once in my life.
I had like bits of a funnel cake every year at the fair.
You just couldn't put it all away.
It's so much food, so much cake.
So much sugar.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've never been good at like eating large amount of food. Even when I was at like my absolute fattest, I could still never like eat a lot of food. It's weird.
My worst was when I ate an entire Little Caesars large pizza by myself.
I can never finish like a medium by myself. I've got no idea how you finished a large.
Those larges are pretty small. I'm pretty sure at my Apex I can put in some pretty good work on a large.
Even though, when I think of you eating food, you always stop before you finish your food. That's all I remember.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. It's autumn. Allegedly, of course, but it is autumn.
It's been so hot where I am.
It's been pretty warm.
For me, it's been like it was like high 90s for the first half of the week, and then it's been low 90s the second half of the week, and it's too hot.
Ouchie.
So I've got like from my apartment, it's a 15-minute walk to my classes, which during like 90% of the year, it's fantastic, because like once October starts, it'll be lovely weather, but for now, it's just so hot. We won't get to wear sweaters for another like 3 months.
I think I'll be lucky if I get to wear a sweater. Of course, I don't know. I don't have much experience living in this area.
Yeah, neither do we. We don't live in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
So on that school front, I've completed my first full week of classes. Sam, you started classes by now?
Yeah, I've gotten through 1 week.
Okay. And Simon still has just a week to go.
I have a few weeks to go. We're closing in. School starts in 24 days. So 3 weeks and change.
Ah, your time is counting down.
Yep.
You're running out of time, Simon. Quick, play all those RPGs you have. Oh, wait, that's me.
Your time is counting down, Sam. You're under negative time. You have to finish Fire Emblem. Hurry!
Shit, I need to play Personas 3, 4, and 5 in 3 weeks.
Just speedrun it. It's easy.
So, Sam, have you been expelled yet?
That is the question we want to have answered. Well, let's explain the backstory first. Why might you be getting expelled?
Okay, so for what I've been doing for the past 2 years for my tuitions is I've been going through the VA to get my fees waived, thanks to my dad getting injured in the Navy. And the past 2 years have gone, like I've gotten the paperwork done in time and turned it in, at the very least, as school started. So the paperwork got through in time for the fees to be waived. But this time, when I started to fill out the form, one of the things I needed was from the IRS. And the first appointment they could get me was after school started. So I had to wait till school started before I can even turn in the paperwork to the VA, and then the VA will give me a paper that I give to the school. Now, there's a chance, though, that I can get dropped from my classes before that paperwork comes in. So I'm just worried about me getting dropped from my classes before I can get my fees waived.
So how's the progress on that gone?
And the current progress for it is I talked to one person, I believe the person that deals with the VA stuff, she said to ask the student finances, and I ended up, and then just recently I asked them, and they said that they don't know like specifically what day I'll be dropped, but I will receive an email like a few days before I'm dropped warning me to pay my fees. And when that happens, I can make a down payment on one of the plans. Just to like pay back, to pay the fees over time. I can make the down payment, and then once I get the paperwork in, and turn in the paperwork, I can get a refund on my down payment that I made.
That's not a bad situation then.
Seems like you have a solution going at least.
Yeah. Now I'm at a point that it's like, okay, we should be fine.
Now that's scary that it's come down to such a tight wire at the end.
Oh, and I learned why the IRS office, because this time around when I started doing the paperwork, I did it about the same time as I did before, but this time the appointment was much later than it was last time. I talked to the person at the office, and I learned that like multiple people had like moved on to different jobs, either like a different place in the IRS office so they don't help out like in the front, or they just like moved on entirely. So they had like 2 people to do appointments.
Yikes.
That's unhelpful.
And then I also learned that they're probably going to be moving to a new office,
Where?
which will be, it'll be at like the intersection of like Coffee and Stockdale. Where Coffee turns into Gosford.
Oh yeah, right by CSUB.
Yeah.
Is it going to be in that?
Dirt lot?
No, it's no longer a dirt lot. They've done a lot of construction. There's now an
Oh,
apartment
you're
block.
right.
There's a few restaurants there. It's no longer just an empty dirt lot at an incredibly busy intersection.
That dirt lot by that Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
The
Really?
former dirt lot by the Trader Joe's.
Formerly known as Dirt Lot.
By the Trader Joe's, south of that irrigation canal.
But now they're going to be sharing a building with like, I think she said like three other like corporations or whatever. One's a hair salon, another is like a thing that deals with Social Security, and then a medical clinic. Something like that.
It's an interesting combination.
She wasn't very thrilled at that thought.
I wouldn't be either.
And having to move in any capacity is never something that is a fun experience.
Yeah.
And she was talking about like the kind of people that show up to those other places, and now they have to like deal with those people too.
Ouchie. I don't really think of that area as being really shady, though.
No. You have to go farther down for it to actually get shady, but
It's a
I don't
little
know.
shady, but not, like, too bad.
yeah.
Yeah, but she means more like the people that go to those places, like, well, minus the hair salon. She's like, the hair salon's fine, like the people going there, but all the smells of the chemicals and whatnot building up.
Yeah, I see what you mean
Because
now.
people going to hair salons, they're only there for like probably like an hour, then they leave. But when you're there for like 8 hours,
The stench builds up.
You wonder how the actual hairdressers feel.
My
I
mom
can ask
never...
them.
Well, my mom was a hairdresser. Yeah, she never really complained about the smell of the chemicals, but she did complain about having to stand for 8 hours straight and not eating lunch.
Maybe she lost her sense of smell, like after the first few months.
I'm pretty sure you're just going nose blind to it.
You get used to it.
Yeah. It's like the old gym at Norris. You just kind of get used to the smell.
As that's completely different now.
Yeah, as they just tore down that building.
I haven't been to Norris since we graduated, so I've got no idea. I know that it has changed, but I don't know. I've never seen it post change.
I've gone there like once in a while because my brother's there now.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know Mr. Carr? He was a science teacher.
Is that Ryan Carr or Raymond Carr? Because there were two cars.
I said the science teacher.
Ryan Carr.
He is now, if I remember correctly, the principal.
Really?
Moving up in the world.
He's moved up.
Is his brother still an English teacher?
I don't know about the brother though.
I had him as a homeroom teacher. Which I don't know why they really had homeroom. I mean, I guess I kind of understand, but it just felt like a waste of 20 minutes.
I feel like I heard something like, I don't remember if it was for homeroom, but there was something that they had in middle school that was supposed to prepare you for high school, but then it wasn't there in high school. It might
It
have
just
been
sounds like
homeroom
middle
that I
school
heard it
in
for.
general.
Yeah. Like, homeroom's purpose, I think, was like you get like a bit of time at the beginning of the day to get all your work together, but it was never like long enough for that purpose. And then, yeah, we just never had it after middle school. We
Yeah.
never really needed it.
To me, it seemed more like a like the time of the day where they take roll of who's there.
Yeah, but couldn't that be done during your first period class?
Yeah, I think that's why they did that during high school.
Yeah.
They take you down per class, so you don't just like jump the fence or whatever.
I mean, that didn't stop people from jumping the fence.
That's true. I still remember my first period world history. Was it world history in sophomore year, or was it?
No, you didn't take AP Euro?
No, I got denied because I had a B in English or whatever.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
oofed.
Yeah, I got freaking wrecked, and I'm still salty to this day that I didn't get into AP Euro.
You missed out. Mr. Richmond was a great teacher.
I know, but I loved my history teacher for sophomore year anyway. In part because if people were late, he would lock the door so they couldn't get into class, even if it was like 50 outside.
It was never 50. It's Bakersfield.
It's true, but it'd be cold in the beginning of the day.
Cold in massive quotation marks.
Cold in Bakersfield terms.
Yeah. Which is... you can maybe wear a jacket. You don't have to wear a jacket.
I would, because I don't like the cold.
Mid-60s. At like the lowest. Normally like high 60s, low 70s.
I think that's an overstatement.
Bakersfield cold.
Anyway, that's what I remember. And he was just a shit poster, but this is getting off track.
Isn't the objective to get off track?
Yeah. What were we talking about again? The fair?
We were talking about the fair, but I don't remember how we started that.
This railroad wasn't built with tracks. The trains just go.
It was built with sticks.
It's like that one scene in the Polar Express where the train is just like sliding along the ice.
I just imagine Grant as the conductor.
I cannot for the life of me remember what he looks like, so...
Just imagine Tom Hanks with a mustache and glasses.
Grant's the conductor, and me and Simon are the engineers.
Which one was standing on top of the train during that scene? Because I can't remember
The
which one
conductor was with the boy and the
Okay.
girl. I know my fucking Polar
I haven't,
Express
I
shit.
haven't watched that movie in like
Years.
10 years. Yeah.
No, neither have I, but I want to watch it again.
And I'm also going to just take this opportunity to go to the bathroom.
Alright, take a break, Sam.
More editing for Grant.
No, this is easy. I can just select a whole chunk and click the delete key.
Banish it.
Yeah, I've hotkeyed delete to. I've got a 5-button mouse, so I've hotkeyed delete to one of the buttons, and I've hotkeyed replace with silence to another button.
I've been thinking about buying a 5-key mouse.
I find it's the optimal number of keys for me because the way mine's built is there's a dip. There's like the two keys are like one key with a split in the middle, and then there's like a divot for my thumb. So my thumb sits nicely between them, so I can like move my thumb to hit both very conveniently. Then there's just left, right click, and the scroll wheel and the scroll click.
I feel like that'd be
Perfect
useful.
for my hands. Yeah. I had a roommate who had it was a 11-button mouse. So it was left, right click, middle click, and then he had a keypad on one side of the mouse for his thumb.
That's too confusing. I had a misclick.
Yeah.
I can hardly use a keyboard. I misclick
Okay.
so many fucking times.
I've got no idea if he used all of them. He probably didn't.
Who would
But-
need that many keys?
I've got no idea. He played a lot of League of Legends, so I wonder. I've got no idea how you play that game, so I don't know what you would have to hotkey.
I'm pretty sure he would hotkey like the like special attacks. I don't know what they would call them. So like the buttons on the mouse, which I think I would find useful. So I don't have to reach up from WASD to like, punch a 1, 3, or 4 to activate my murder everyone ability.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sam, do you have any thoughts on how many buttons you want on your mouse?
Looks at my mouse. How many buttons does it have?
3.
Yeah.
Probably 3. I haven't seen your mouse.
Well, I have 2 mouses technically.
2 mice.
Because like I have one connected to the desktop and another one connected to the laptop.
Oh, fancy are we?
How's it fancy? It's more of I don't feel like unplugging and then replugging back and forth between my computers. But it looks like I have 5 buttons on both mics.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Or mics.
No, I like 5-button mice.
Although there's technically 6 buttons, but one of the buttons is just for sensitivity.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's for regular use.
I'm gonna look at my other mouse, because the other mouse, yeah, it does have a sensitivity button, but that's not, yeah.
I just have a regular 3-button mouse.
And while it does have 2 additional buttons, I can't say I've ever meant to use them. I've accidentally clicked them before and did things I didn't wanted, but
You don't hotkey stuff to your mouse?
not usually.
I don't know, I like... Because it's like 2 free actions that I can do without thinking with my thumb. So I always hotkey like very simple things onto the mouse.
Yeah, I feel like having a button on like the side of the mouse that doesn't do anything would be useful for like push to talk.
I don't know, I don't speak enough in Discord chats for push to talk to be useful, but if I did, I could see that being a useful feature.
Yeah, and like
Simon's
that's
just
what,
trying to justify using push to talk.
yeah. Like I'm not a believer in push to talk for most cases, but like if I were to use push to talk, I think that'd be like the best button to hotkey it to.
Why don't you like push to talk?
I don't know. I just don't have to. I don't have to bother pushing a key to talk.
So Sam, what classes are you taking this semester? Quarter? I forget which system you're on.
CSUs are semester.
Not all of them. No, there are 2 CSUs still on the quarter system that are going to change to semester.
Good.
I forgot because Bakersfield, it's not the newest one to change, but it was in the latest crop.
Yeah, we're on semester.
Yeah, okay, you're on semester. So what classes are you taking this semester?
We got the two choirs as usual. Then then we got Math 2200, which is stats,
All right.
cognitive psych, abnormal psych, and then the Cosmos.
Is Carl Sagan there?
Hootst?
I mean, the show The Cosmos was hosted by Neil deGrasse Tyson, so
But the original one
was
was hosted by Carl Sagan.
I know, but that one's not on Netflix.
It's more valid.
But I believe the actual name of the class was like Intro to the Cosmos.
Now, what GE does that cover? Because that, or are you just taking it to fill time?
It does take up one of my requirements. And it's also offered to honor students, so I'm like, hey, why not?
Are certain classes only offered to honor students?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
This class was specifically offered for honor students.
Ah,
UCSB does have some like honors courses, but they're like seminars, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, honor students had to take a specific seminar and a certain philosophy class with the director of the program.
Did you take that philosophy class?
Yes, I did, and we used one of the bigger rooms.
What was the philosophy about, or the purpose, or whatever, the gist of it?
It was just general philosophy stuff.
Oh,
Like if your brain was in a jar, or if your mind was put into the body of a creature, those kind of questions.
it sounds pretty good.
if a baby's born in a cave and can only see the shadows on the wall, is the baby good or evil?
As you just like combine different questions.
I know.
That's like that is not the intro class.
That's honors philosophy.
That's honors philosophy 4200.
The more you tell me about your honors program, the less I understand. Because I assumed it was just like a way you got priority, like enrolling, but now there's like mandatory seminars and there's exclusive classes. Like, how does your honors program work?
I mean, there is still priority registration stuff and access to like special rooms on campus, like specifically one in the library, then another one, the honors lounge, which I always go to. But you don't actually need to take the honors only classes. They're just like offers most of the time. You don't usually have to take them. And you don't need to be in the honors program to graduate with honors, but being in the program does give you, as I said before, priority registration, which helps.
How do you graduate with honors?
It's the Latin terms like summa cum laude. It's
I don't speak Latin.
because cum laude is Latin for with honors or with distinction. Summa cum laude, which means with highest honors, because summa means highest.
So you have to get like the Medal of Honor or some shit? Like,
Magna cum laude and summa cum laude. Magna cum laude is with great honors, and summa cum laude, yeah, it is with highest honors. Summa is highest, magna is just great, as in magnificent. So yeah, graduating with honors, I assume it'd be different from just being in the honors program. I kind of want to just explain a bit more of this program because I'm still really shaky on it. So how did you get in?
I got in due to SAT scores.
nice.
Okay.
It was like when you're entering CSUB as a freshman, there were like 3 ways. One was SAT scores, another was ACT scores, and then your GPA in high school. And then if you were above a certain amount, they would send you an email or a letter asking if you wanted to be in the program.
Okay. And then is it once you're in for your entire college career? Or do you have to complete requirements each year to remain in the program?
To stay in, you just need to be above a certain GPA.
Okay. So, like, how many people are in the program? Like, as a proportion of people at the school?
Now, I don't know how many people are at the school, but the page for the honors says that there are more than 300 students enrolled.
That's not bad.
CSUB has 10,000 students.
So less than 1%.
Okay.
0.3%, I think, to be exact.
I mean, I'm rounding all my numbers.
I don't know what numbers are. My malnourished child soldier brain can't understand numbers.
I don't know. I'm minoring mathematics, and I know some mathematicians who argue about what numbers are, so.
My knowledge of numbers broke after doing algebra 3 times over and then doing proofs.
Why'd you have to do algebra 3 times?
Because I failed once and then I had to do it again in college because I didn't do as well as I would like to have on my math entrance exam. But I did take a higher level course for the like a higher level exam than my peers for that exam. So I guess I'm bigger brain.
Oh, and apparently, if you join CS, or to join the honors program, if you're an incoming sophomore or junior, you have to have a high. Basically, it seems like the requirement is higher, or it seems like there's another step.
That sounds about right.
It's always more complicated when you're transferring from another school.
I would
It can
imagine.
never just be simple.
I have to make it harder for you.
Schools seem to revel in making life extra difficult. I spent the last year and a half practically trying to use the internet less. How much do you guys use YouTube? How often do you guys watch YouTube videos?
Daily.
Yeah, daily.
Yeah. And how many hours per day would you say at a guess?
Maybe 3 or 4.
1 to 2.
Yeah. 3 to 4 is a lot. And
It is probably an overestimation. I feel like Sam's estimate maybe a little more, but probably around 2 hours.
That's still a lot of time every day to be dedicated to watching YouTube videos. So I've made a conscious effort in the past few years to just watch less YouTube. And so I've unsubscribed from a lot of channels that I don't care about. And I've just tried to watch as little as possible. So I know I'm watching, it's less than an hour a day, but it's still not as low as I'd like it.
You'd like 5 minutes.
I mean, there are a few channels that I do want to keep informed with. It's mostly the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon related channels because I like to keep up with what's happening in those games.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is Pokemon has a few other alternatives to YouTube. There's a Limitless TCG, which is quite nice, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Has Zodiac Duelist, the Facebook page, as another way to receive information about the game. And I guess technically the Konami website, but that's a little shaky. But YouTube is the best way for information to be created and spread about those games. So the vast majority of people that I watch regularly are people who make content about those games. But practically every other channel that I used to watch, I've either shifted to using their website, which I find adds enough of a barrier that I don't mindlessly click to it, but I still watch their content when it comes out, or I've just stopped watching entirely.
The thing I use YouTube most is listening to music.
Yeah, if you count that, I still use an enormous amount of YouTube. Because, well, not for music specifically, but for podcasts. Because it's nice to have, it's nice to be able not to go to another website for podcasts. I can just find everything I want on YouTube. But I don't count listening to podcasts as watching YouTube videos. I count those as different things. Because music and podcasts, are like audio only, so like they don't take up the same amount of my time as like watching videos do. Because I can listen to music or listen to podcasts in the background while I'm doing other things,
Like Minecraft.
like Minecraft, or when I'm working on my homework, or when I'm not reading a book but playing another game. But like watching a video takes up my full attention. I've cut that down to as minimal as possible. How are you guys like with other websites? Like specifically like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, like things that websites just take up a lot of time.
Yeah, I usually just browse for memes. I never post. I've made it a point since I was 13 maybe to never post anything or comment on anything or even really like anything.
Hardcore lurker.
Yeah.
I only went on Facebook recently because I was selling books online. Like, CSUB has a specific... Someone created a group for CSUB for selling books or lending books.
Well, that's nice.
And I sold, like, about 4 books.
Nice.
Ah.
I'm gonna update that soon, just, like, mark it as sold and then re-put it up with the updates on, like, what books I have and don't have.
Alright.
I need to sell some books.
I read most of my textbooks, so I never have to resell them. I just give them back to the school.
I really want to rent, but it's like... I feel like it would cost less in the end if I just buy them and then sell them again.
That's probably true, but I also calculate like the effort of then reselling it and the square footage it takes up of me owning it. It's just easier to just give them back the book at the end of the semester. The only books I buy are books that I think I will need again. So I bought an incredibly expensive electric circuits textbook because it's required for 3 classes, 3 or 4, I forget the number. And I've bought a book about real analysis because I was afraid I was going to fail that class. And if I had to take it again, I didn't want to have to re-rent the book.
I just have some books about anthropology.
Just for fun?
No, because I had an anthropology class, but I had to buy them because,
Oh.
yeah.
Had to?
Yeah, he bought an anthropology book on the whim.
But I tried to resell them back to the school, and they're like, yeah, that class doesn't exist. What are you talking about? We can't buy it. So that's another thing to add to the pile of schools being fucky for no reason. It's like, what do you mean? This class exists.
I've literally never had that issue before. That's interesting.
I did consider selling all my books back to the CSUB bookstore, even though I didn't buy most of the books through them. And my calculations were that if I ended up selling all the books to like online sellers, I would get more than I would if I sold it back to the bookstore.
Okay.
And I actually use a specific website that compares prices for selling back, and that gives me a basis of like, okay, what is the lowest I can sell it for?
What a bunch of cheap motherfuckers, huh?
So you guys don't use like the internet or social media for much else then?
Just memes.
I don't even really go on to them, even for memes.
Alright. Cause it was like a couple years ago, because I was like drawing out how much time I spent doing certain things, and like 2 years ago I spent an enormous amount of time on Reddit and on websites like Hacker News and on Tumblr, just wasting time practically. So 2 years ago I decided just to stop. And so right now on my computer the like URL for like Reddit and Tumblr are blocked, so I physically can't access those sites, and I've just like stopped doing things that I count as like wasting time. And that's why I've been trying to lower my amount of YouTube, because I'm just trying to stop just killing time just doing nothing.
So what are you doing with your free time instead?
Actually getting my homework done.
That sounds
I
useful.
haven't done any homework yet. And it's not like I don't have homework.
Oh, Sam. it was easier last semester because last semester I was working. So now I do have more free time, and I've realized that now because I was used to work like 15 to 20 hours a week, and now I'm working 0 hours a week. So now I have been spending more time like reading actual books, and I have just spent more time like working on classwork outside of class, like getting better at like things I need to practice with. But I've like mapped it out. I used to spend near 5-6 hours a day on like Reddit and Tumblr and YouTube just doing nothing, and now I've got it down to like less than an hour of YouTube and nothing else.
Nice.
Well done.
And along with this is the fact that I don't play video games much anymore. So how many hours per day would you guys say you play like video games?
Maybe 3.
Is Sam actually checking his hours on Steam, or is he just thinking?
Like, would you say like average?
Like average per day. Like in a normal week.
Okay, because I was like thinking about today. I was like, well, today isn't a regular day. I don't have work or school today.
Yeah, no, think about like a normal day.
Thinking emoji. I'll say 3 to 4 hours.
Okay. So like, once again, not like during school, but definitely over summers, I would spend. I mean, I still spend ages playing video games, and that's like the only game that I now play consistently is Minecraft, because that is a game I can play for 20 minutes, like get something done, and then put it down. And there's very few other games that I've played for a long time where I can do that. So Minecraft is now the only video game that I spend a non-zero amount of time playing. And it's like during like the past 7 days, I've played, I've been on Minecraft for about 18 hours, but that has only been today, yesterday, and like Friday night. But half of that has been me just being AFK on the server.
AFK farms.
Yes, I needed a lot of iron, and so I just AFK fished for about 9 hours.
Did you get anything good?
No.
Damn.
I've got enough villagers now that I grind all the books. The past week I spent about 9 hours playing video games, and that's all been Minecraft. So that's like my last big thing that I used to waste time that I've got to somehow stop, is playing Minecraft an exorbitant amount.
It's alright to play Minecraft, Grant. Let me just enable it. Even though I don't play it as much.
Me
No.
neither.
Well, you expanded your house recently.
Yeah. It's not quite as good as I would think to have liked it to be, but it's good enough.
I mean, you can always just build something new.
That's true.
And although I haven't been playing Minecraft, I've been playing other video games.
Same here.
Yeah, so what video games do you guys spend time with?
I have a rotation, basically. I just rotate between a bunch of games. Like, I'll just play a game like a Religion for like a few weeks, and then I'll just drop in and play another game because I get bored. Which is why I'm not really good at any real video game, but I'm like okay. Because like I can never be like a person who can just like I can never be like a competitive esports person where I can just sit down and play like Smite or some sort of Dota meme or a TF2 clone by the name of Overwatch for like 12 hours straight competitive, or even play competitive, because I don't really play like that. I just play to just dick around. But recently I've been playing Smite, Team Fortress, and Civ.
Which Civ?
Civ 6.
Yes, the Civ I still don't have.
Me neither.
Simon moved on. We didn't.
Yeah,
No, we're still.
If we ever do play Civ, it'll be Civ 5.
yeah. I like Civ 6 because the environment is a lot more interesting.
No, Civ 6 came out like at the exact wrong time for the three of us. 'Cause I think Simon had moved away,
Yeah,
and we had no plans to like, because we'd played Civ 5 together in the past and attempted to play whole games, even though that never actually happened.
It
yeah.
was like,
We never got through a game.
well, we got through one. I know for sure at least one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we started quite a few.
I think we did complete one, and I think I played Swede in that game.
I only remember we completed one because I won in it
Yeah,
through
That makes
diplomats.
That makes the most sense. But like once I moved away, Civ 6 came out, and then we just had no, like, me and Sam had no reason to buy it.
then I got it for my birthday
Yeah,
because it came out on my birthday.
everything happens on your birthday.
I know. I've been having a lucky few birthdays. Like Civ 6 wasn't really supposed to come out on my birthday, but it did anyway for some reason. Yeah, I got lucky that night. My rotation are the Paradox games with a special attention to Europa Universalis 4,
Good old grain strategy.
Skyrim, recently New Vegas, A Hat in Time, which I really love, Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, surprisingly fun, Civ 6, Smite, and Once in a Blue Moon. This just happens to be a blue moon around this time. Also, Once in a Blue Moon, Verdun / Tannenberg, Team Fortress, and War Thunder.
Okay.
Nice little variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what games do you normally play, Sam?
When I'm at home, but I'd say there's three main games I've been rotating around, and that would be like Fire Emblem Three Houses, the Link Evolution game, and then usually whenever I'm at school, we also end up playing Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, Sam has a specific type of game, like RPG and then fighting game for groups, but RPG for single player.
Everyone loves Smash.
Except people who don't play Smash.
I'm not the biggest Smash fan. Like, playing it's always fun, but I'm just terrible at any game that requires finesse.
Simon just needs to actually get the game to start getting good.
Yeah. That's why I've been looking for a job so I can buy a Switch. I also started kicking myself for not buying Oblivion, so I can experience the madness of Oblivion.
Is Oblivion not on Steam?
It is, but I want to get it on sale because I don't think it's worth it.
What's it currently cost?
I think it's 20 is the default.
Yeah.
That's not... No, that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, but my precious shekels.
So, Simon, what are your plans for the next 3.5 weeks?
Find enough spare change to buy a Switch.
That and trying to find a job.
Where have you been looking?
I had an interview at Starbucks and they have not called me back, so I'm just going to have to say they didn't want
That one's
me.
a bust.
That's a bust.
You weren't Starbucks material.
No. Unfortunately, I can't pin my mouth into a smile like that.
Yeah, you seem like the kind of person who wouldn't deal well with customer service for many hours a day.
No, I hate it. I'm too plain. Like, I could be like... I could work at Barnes & Noble. I feel like that's more my speed where, like... People are mainly in there to, like, browse and leave. And I don't have to, like, put on a show for people. It's like, oh, you want this book? Okay, get out.
You don't even give them the book, you just tell them get out.
I feel like that's more my speed.
Speedy speed boy.
Yeah. How do you feel about customer service, Sam? Because that is the name of your game.
It's alright for me, but the place I work at isn't really... I don't get... Like, I wouldn't say I get all types of customers. I mainly get the older group.
I see.
Like, usually older ladies.
No one else wants massive hourglasses?
So I haven't gotten, like, any really bad, like, rude customers or anything like that.
I've gotten some wacky customers.
But it's not like I can't say I haven't gotten any bad customers.
Yeah, we did do a shoplifting podcast, so
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I did. No, I don't think I've told my stories on this podcast about wacky people.
yeah, we can do that if you want, or we can talk more about you looking for a job and what you want out of a job.
Well,
Your future goals for jobs.
well, at this moment, I don't know. Retail just sounds so soul crushing, but like I can't do. Well, I can do customer service. I just feel like I'm not really cut out for that. But I feel like that's like all I can really do because I'm completely unqualified.
Yeah, unless you make up some qualifications.
Yeah, like I did a little bit of like cashier work and I was okay at that. I feel like I didn't like really piss people off because I feel like I'm a pretty meek person, so I just kind of like let people have what they want. And I feel like that's really what you want out of a cashier.
So can I just have all the money? Sure.
I mean,
I
I
guess.
I don't like my boss that much. Fuck it. I don't mind getting fired today. Fuck it. Let's go. Take the money.
Yeah, I don't think I could do fast food. It just seems like too fast of an environment for me.
Yeah.
But I guess any other like food place that isn't fast food, I guess would be possible.
Yeah, like I worked at a sandwich shop and that was like sort of fast food. Like we had to make sandwiches within like 2 minutes. If they were hot, if they were cold, that'd be like 1 minute. Which isn't too bad once you like get the hang of it. But it was a little hard for me because I'm a bit more methodical, I guess, with making sandwiches.
It has to be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they wanted out of me, but I guess I'm just slow. I'm not a very
I
like
want it to be perfect and fast.
yeah, that's what they always want, but I don't know. I'm just like a not very like dexterous or finesseful person.
I don't remember where I heard it, but I remember hearing something like a slogan from a company or just like random company or something like that. That was like, we're committed to do more in less time.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you want us to do more with less hours.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just work harder.
Just be a speed boy with your gasoline burning.
I remember though in my job I would prefer well, cashier work would be like physically easier, but it's mentally harder, I think. So I preferred like making sandwiches to doing cashier because I could just chat with my coworkers while I was making sandwiches, and that was always fun because we never had our manager on site, so like we could just sort of like shoot the shit.
I was gonna ask you like how's being on register more mentally taxing, but then you described the other scenario. I'm like, okay, understandable.
Yeah. Like talking to people I don't know for like several hours and then like pretending like I'm happy is not fun. But talking to people I do know is a lot easier.
I can't relate. I've never done any kind of retail or fast food work.
As your job has been completely different from ours.
Yeah, so the only jobs I've had were I spent a couple years as a Boy Scout camp counselor up in the mountains, and that job is like it's like one part teaching, one part manual labor. So I taught various merit badges to boys ages 11 to 17, and then I also like just helped keep the camp running. My jobs that I've had in college have been office work, basically, where it's like me and a couple other employees in like an open space office working on projects.
Yeah, I'd rather do like at least if like I could pick a job, I'd probably pick tutoring because I guess it pertains to what I'm doing in college. So like if I could somehow like tutor at the college for French or Japanese and get paid doing it, I'd be like ecstatic,
Sign me up.
yeah, I would sign up. You can sign me up. You can abuse me. You can not feed me. You can hit me over the head with a phone book if you'd like. I'll take it.
I know my school offers a tutoring program where they'll pay students to tutor other students, but I haven't checked on the requirements or the pay.
Yeah. I feel like I'm nearly at the level, or maybe perhaps at the level, where I could start doing that for a language. Of course, I don't know how UCSB works. I imagine I have to be at a higher level, but I think it'd be fun because I feel like I don't have to like put up a personality, and I could just be like, "Let me help you because I know this."
You're right. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, what seems to be the problem here? How can I help you out?
As that reminds me how recently I was just like walking around campus and I saw a professor I had last year, and I was just like saying hi, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to tutor psychology?" I'm like, "I never considered it." And I just told him like, I'll keep it in mind. The end.
Well, they do say that the best way to learn is to teach.
Yeah.
Then we all need to teach.
Yeah. That's why I constantly give TED Talks to myself in the shower.
The Secret Life of Simon and his TED Talks.
Yeah.
If there's ever a Simon-only episode of this podcast, just can be because Simon sent me an audio file of him in the shower.
Just having a TED Talk.
Yeah.
I'd probably just turn on the shower and just like sit on the toilet and then just read out my TED Talk.
If that's on the website next week, it's because Simon sent me the audio.
What's your ideal job, Sam, at this point, before you move on to your dream job after college?
You say dream job, and nothing comes to mind.
I'm in the same boat, but you know what I mean, like the job you're intending to get, supposedly.
Are you asking what job he wants to get after he has his degree?
No, like at this
Or-
point, what's the job you're like most interested in getting? Like, for example, in my story about tutoring would be like the ideal job for me, in my opinion,
Okay.
as opposed to like food service or retail where I have to like bend over backwards for people.
I don't know. I guess just like right now, if I could just have a job, or, a new job of like my ideal, it'd probably just be like helping with research.
Does UCB do psychology research?
I know that certain professors do conduct like their own research like once in a while, but I don't know anything else beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess for me, like, apart from tutoring, I would just want a job that would pertain to French and or Japanese.
Yeah, something for that resume.
And to practice. Because part of the reason...
Resume translated anime.
Into French.
That's not bad for a English native speaker, I suppose, but, like, part of the reason why I quit my job is because I felt like I was spending too much time at my job and not enough, like I know more, like, the more accurate thing is, like, I felt like my efforts were spent in the wrong place. Or, like, it wasn't really, like, I was working to get money and not working to get experience. Which was, I guess, more what I'm after. I guess I'm just being, like, a little too idealistic, but, like...
Yeah, because now you're earning neither money nor experience.
At least before you were getting experience, albeit not for what you wanted at all, but you were getting money, which is
Yeah.
always useful.
Story time with Simon. Drug deal? Question mark.
I thought we talked about this.
We have not talked about this. I would remember if we talked about this.
Oh yes, the drug deal. So, this is in 6th grade back in Norris Middle,
I see.
and this is part of the reason why I started hanging around with Sam.
Me specifically. Are you saying I'm the one that gave the drugs, Simon?
No, I started hanging around with Sam in like November or December of that year. I want to say, probably January. I guess the next calendar year, but the same school year. So I, at that time, was not associated with, let's say, savory folk. So, honestly, I don't even know why I hung around with these people, but they were like,
Were they like in the same classes?
If you say their first names, would we know who they are?
their names were, well, the person with the drugs name was Nathan. I forget his last name.
Nathan. I don't know.
And the other
off top of my
person
head.
is Jeff.
I never knew anyone named Jeff.
I might know Nathan, no clue on Jeff. Or know who you're talking
Uh,
about.
he had short blonde hair, wavy, that was like greased back.
That is so unhelpful.
Oh yeah, Grant, don't you have a Norris Middle School yearbook?
Not with me
Oh,
at
yeah.
college.
Damn it.
if you want, I can text my brother to let you into the house if you want to look through the Norris Middle School.
Anyway. Okay, so it's my birthday. It's 6th grade.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy late birthday.
Yes. This story literally happens on my birthday, which is
That's
the
the third time this episode we've mentioned your birthday.
I know. That's why I said I've been having a lucky streak of birthdays recently. At this point, not so much.
Imagine how many times we're going to say it on your actual birthday.
Oh yeah,
My birthday
it's all
is a
coming
Sunday
together.
this year. It's all coming together.
Is it actually a Sunday?
It's actually a Sunday.
Oh, we might record an episode on your birthday.
Yikes. So earlier that year, we would hang. Remember in the 6th grade section of the school, there was that like corner to the west of the school, where there was that like big tree in the corner by the houses, like by the parking lot.
I was with you until you said the words by the parking lot. Are you talking about the line of trees at the back fences?
Yeah, there. And then
Yeah.
there was like that third of that field was off limits.
Was it?
Yeah, at least I was told that because we earlier that year we hung around there, and then they told us that like we're causing too much trouble or whatever, so they told us to like not be there.
Huh.
Just throw down the pile of schools fucking with people for no reason. Anyway, this takes place in that field in front of those trees. So
Okay.
Nathan comes to school that day, my birthday, and me, him, Jeff, and Ivan, who you guys might remember.
I know Ivan.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Ivan.
Ivan's a part of this story. He's actually,
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
yeah,
I wonder what happened to him.
me too. He kind of fell off the face of the earth, but he's actually a good guy in this story. But,
He's the hero.
yeah, pretty much. But, anyway, Nathan says that he has Vicodin that he stole from his grandmother that morning.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah. And, like, I'm, like, I don't know, I'm just like, I don't know what Vicodin is because I'm 12 and I'm sheltered as fuck. So I'm just like, listening really. Like I'm not really interested in whatever the fuck this is because not only do I not know what that is, but I don't have money to buy it if I were even interested. But naturally, he and Jeff know what it is, so they're talking. They're I don't remember exactly what they're saying, but they're pretty much being like, "Yeah, I'll have some or whatever." And I was promised some. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'll take your word for it, I guess. And I can't remember what Ivan said in that conversation, but I know they were having a mild disagreement, and then they kind of came to like a conclusion that worked for both of them, I guess, about it. And then we sort of like broke, and then Nathan said either that we were going to get it during lunch or after school. I think it was during lunch. But since it was my
That's an unsafe time.
well, that's going to play into later. So
More later.
Sure.
yeah, this will show up later. So since it's my birthday, my dad picked me up for lunch, and we went to Checkers on Callaway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was having a good time. And then I come back from lunch, and I was like, oh yeah, time to do world history. I go into school, and I get told I need to go to the dean's office immediately. And I was like, well, it's my birthday, what the fuck?
They're just gonna wish you happy birthday.
Of course, but
I wish you happy
I don't
for your
trust,
birthday
like-
through the speakers.
yeah. Anyway, I go up to the dean's office, and Ivan's there already. And I'm sat down next to Ivan, and the dean asks us about, I don't remember what she said exactly, but I guess you can kind of guess that she was, like, asking, like, do you have drugs, or were you trying to buy drugs? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, Nathan had Vicodin, but, like, I'm not really interested. I don't remember saying anything, but that's sort of, like, my thoughts, really. Like, Ivan was like, Ivan, I guess, like, understood more of what was happening than I did, so he did more talking than I did. And he kind of, like, explained that, like, Nathan had the Vicodin and that he was trying to sell it to us.
Wow, so Ivan was the snitch.
Yeah.
Exposed.
And
on a
Ivan said that,
podcast.
like, that it was clear that, like, I was not interested, and she's like, okay, then you can go then. And I went. And that's my, time I accidentally got run into a drug deal.
Do you know what happened to Nathan and Jeff? Because that's what I want to know.
I don't know what happened to Nathan. I imagine he got expelled. I hung around with Jeff for maybe a month or two more, and I think he was saying something about moving to, like, North or South Dakota.
So the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he got banished to the Shadow Realm as well. And that was my 12th birthday.
What happened on the 13th?
I think I got teppanyaki.
We just like go down the list of Simon's birthdays and what happened that year.
Yeah, that's definitely staying in the podcast.
What, I got teppanyaki and signed up for Facebook for my 13th birthday?
Yes, that's what
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
wants
you
to
have to be
hear.
13 to be on Facebook.
Yeah, you have to be 13. So that's what I did.
It's good dear Ivan was a good person.
In this scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew Ivan to be a bad person.
No. I do wonder whatever happened to him.
I think Jeff got caught smoking in the bathroom. I can't remember what, but I think it was him. I remember someone getting caught smoking in the bathroom that year as well.
Sounds like a fitting end for his tale.
Yeah. That was in like November or December that year. You guys remember that? Because I remember they pulled everyone out of their rooms, at least in like the school block I was in.
That's not how my memory works. I can't remember a single, like, event pre-age 14. It all just turns into a mush of ideas and concepts.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I just remember like random specific like events or just times were just at middle school. And one thing I do remember was Grant walking around with a fake phone trying to get trying to get like the teachers that like walk around during recess, trying to get like one of them to come over and like confiscate his fake phone just to like quote unquote prank them. But they never came.
I have no memory of this.
Me
And
neither.
I don't know where I would have gotten a fake phone from is the question. Yeah, I cannot remember that at all.
What I do remember though is that after those months around maybe November, December, just being fresh out of Friends and just sort of like milling around, and that me and Sam took the bus to school, so we were there pretty early. So we just hung around near the ball wall and just talked about Black Ops and Black Ops Zombies.
Oh yeah, the ball wall.
It's where you meet new kids.
Or get smacked in the face.
Yeah. Well, we never really threw the ball at each other because we were civilized, so to speak. In a manner of words.
As civilized as sixth graders could be. Oh, but when the memory of me remembering Grant walking around with like a fake phone in our like little group, because it was me, Grant, and Simon. That was not in sixth grade.
Yeah, that
It
was
was-
more of a 7th and 8th. Really.
Yeah. The middle school was the time when we all actually became a group of friends.
Yeah.
Did we play? Didn't like we occasionally like play blackjack? Is that what it
And
was?
war.
Yeah.
War and poker. Grant taught
We,
us how to play poker.
yeah, I've always been a fan of card games. That's been consistent.
Yeah, but we didn't start playing card games until 7th grade. I remember during silent reading time in math, like sort of like trying to like fix the deck of cards in my favor for war.
Oh gosh.
You just stacked the deck in like the class before lunch.
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything for victory.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I still do remember I hovered between like our group and another group, mainly throughout middle school.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was us three, and then I was friends with Brett Clark and Ryan Gruber and their group of friends.
And I hovered with, I believe, like the two people I believe you both should for sure know is Jose Barajas and then Dalton.
Ah, he lived
Yeah.
right next door to me for ages. Like, elementary school, me and Jose were like best friends. Because he, like, lived right next door.
Yeah, then it was like, the group was like partially split when we went to high school, like half went to Frontier, the other half went to Centennial. For some reason, Dalton went to Frontier. I don't know why. And then I never heard from Dalton again after that, despite me having him on my friends list in Steam.
Yeah, these things happen.
That Steam friends list is meaningless.
Yeah, then from that other friend group, one of the people, Nico, goes to CSUB also, and I see him once in a while. And I was in one of his Minecraft Hunger Games videos.
Wow.
Okay, can you send me a link? Please. Please.
Let me see if his channel even exists anymore.
That would be some hardcore nostalgia right there.
And not just any Minecraft, or not just any Minecraft Hunger Games, Xbox Minecraft Hunger Games.
Ooh, even more hardcore.
I don't have nostalgia for that. I never played on anything other than PC.
But yeah, the special thing about that is, basically he had to download every single Hunger Games map himself, and basically all the loot is preset.
He had to do it
Well, he
manually?
didn't put in the loot himself, because then he would have an advantage
okay.
of knowing where everything is, because he wanted to actually play in it, not just moderate it.
Okay. He was fair. I thought you meant like he built the Hunger Games map himself.
Yeah, that'd be very impressive.
he'd download them onto like a USB and then plug it into the Xbox.
I see.
Okay.
It's a little more complicated than that, but that's basically what he did. Only slightly more
Nice.
complicated.
I remember in Carmel, a friend of mine like played a old Minecraft video he made in like psychology class or philosophy class for some reason. I totally forgot why.
That's something I never did. I never made Minecraft videos. My brother had a couple friends who had a Minecraft YouTube channel for a few years in middle school, but I never did that sort of thing.
Yeah, that would violate my principles.
Okay, so the channel is still up, but I believe he privated the Minecraft Hunger Games.
Fair
That's
enough.
a shame.
I could message him and be like, hey, you should like send me a direct link for the video.
Yeah, it's just I'll be trying to like relive that middle school nostalgia.
Oh yeah, and in the one video of his that I was in, I won that Hunger Games.
That's why you want to rewatch it. You want to relive your victory.
I remember Sam being pretty good at Minecraft Hunger Games.
Minecraft's always been good.
Minecraft has always been good.
Sam-
Yes, I
Good at
agree.
Sam.
Sam's always been good at games like that.
The PvP stuff.
Yeah, games that require that kind of finesse. I've always just thought of Sam as the person in our group who was best at those kind of games.
Yeah.
I'm out of practice though.
I remember when you and me joined Hunger Games recently, Sam.
That was a sad event.
Yeah,
Who won?
Not us.
neither of us. No, the meta's changed.
That has changed.
They were fishing hook comboing us. They were
Oh.
doing all kinds of crazy shit. We were like old veterans who just can't hack it anymore.
We haven't adapted to the times.
We have become the boomers.
We can't keep up with the Zoomers nowadays.
Frankly, I just remember having a terrible time in middle school after 6th grade.
What made it so much worse than pre-7th grade?
Mainly not being in band.
Why'd you drop out of band?
I didn't make the cut.
There was a cut?
Yes, there was a cut.
And Simon made it.
I did not make the cut.
I wasn't even aware that the middle school band was selective.
It was selective for some reason, but only for percussionists, which is why you don't remember.
That makes sense, because I feel that a lot more people sign up for percussion than sign up for the other instruments.
Yeah.
Because I was in band back in middle school.
Yeah, I remember not showing up a lot to band because no one really liked me in band. Or at least I felt that way.
You just assumed that they all didn't like you.
They really gave me that feeling that they didn't like me, so I just feel like, yikes, I don't want to. And also, I feel like the band teacher wasn't that good in the first place.
What are you talking about? Mr. Kreider was fantastic.
Nah. I have to give you a hard disagree on that one.
I'm a little biased because the Kreider family is like a friend of our family, because Mr. Kreider and my father were both part of the Air National Guard band. But no, he was a good teacher.
I don't know.
We can argue about middle school band directors later.
Hey guys, we've gone on long enough now, right?
I guess. So just sit here just sadly remembering middle school.
Simon's having too many flashbacks. We have to end it.
Yeah.
They're taking over.
All right. Simon, do you want to give us a line to end on?
Nice.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a line.
I'm just imagining that Grant, you make the end of the podcast is like you saying, "Oh, okay, Simon, any last words to Levon, and it just ends on me saying "nice" when he doesn't give a response.